Good evening, folks. How's everybody doing? I'll pull the music down a little bit here. I'm gonna probably go without headphones tonight just because I live with headphones on. It's really nice to just kind of hang out and not have them on. And I can be super casual with these streams. So, how's everybody doing tonight? First off, oh, thank you, Subspecies. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, just in terms of what we're covering tonight, so I already did one stream on the Eko Box kind of upgrade, and I walked away and I looked at it later, and I wanted something, I don't know, I want it a little bit easier to build, because for one, I have to build this in the Abyss series, and I have to memorize it, so it had some really tricky bits, which if it's tricky for me to remember, it's also going to be tricky for newer folks who are trying out these builds to play with them. But in terms of the stream tonight, here's what we're going to do. I actually want to show you, so the Eko Box is available for download on my Patreon. So anyone who doesn't know, the links are all below to Patreon, and all my bases are there for download. And I had a community member who had downloaded a base that said, hey, I did some crazy stuff with your base, some copy and paste in the prefab editor. So I'm going to show off their work. So that's Frenchie did some work that I'll show off, and this is a great example of I love seeing people taking an idea and just kind of running with it, but he did a great job. I'll show you that in a second, and then we're gonna go fix the Eko Box upgrade because I want to change it up a little bit. And then the last thing that we're gonna do on stream tonight, if you've seen the Sentinel, it's one of my massive base builds. I had another community member who downloaded that and was having a rough time with the wiring on it. So if you're unfamiliar with how electrical wires up in 7 Days to Die, we're going to go into pretty heavy detail on that because it's a electrical nightmare. So it's using combination of solar arrays all the way down to batteries, and it's using 4 or 5 different channels of electricity. So I'll be showing how all that functions and comes together. That'll be how I close up the stream. But I'm going to start off, I'm going to bounce this into game here. And I did have a preference question once we get in here. So let's pop in here first. So the simple question is, and if you haven't been in one of these build streams before, I keep the mouse and keyboard on the bottom left. So it's, you know, easy to see what I'm doing and stop at any point in time. And if you have questions, just ask. I do these partially because I'm going to do the work anyway, but I love to be able to teach and explain anything that you have questions about. So my picture here, I can either do it like this or I can do the cutout. I don't know if y'all have any preference. It's when you're using NVIDIA to cut everything out like this, I feel like it gives you a little bit more screen to work with, but you get some of that weird, flanging. So I don't know. Y'all tell me. I'm good either way. I'm here for y'all. So this is what I wanted to show you first off. So this is the build out that Frenchie did. Huge props to him for taking my original design and just kind of playing with it in a fun way. So he added on some blade traps here on the side. He added these pipes with electrical fences along the side. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Personally, I like the one you have now. Well, we'll take a look at it in a second. I've got some, I got some ideas I want to look at after it. So, but what he did in this, the things that I liked that I might have to steal, he expanded the center section because this is in the spirit of how I wanted the Eko Box to work, was that you would have different connectors where you can have little mini horde bases on each side so that if one fails, you pivot to the next. So some of the advancement things that he added, I love this little triangular window on top. Now, that's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt for repairs because the vultures will nip at that. And then he put in a full set of windows the whole way across, which is kind of nice. Just gives more light in. So I'm tempted to do that as well versus the simple 4. What else did he add on here? I liked the windows and these little connectors, the hallway connectors that I built. He just added the windows in. And then he added the walkways, and he added a second level on top of this. If this was your central crafting area, you could absolutely go up like this. But if you can see on the bottom here, he expanded out. So he made this bigger than the original footprint. So this, you know, when you play with bases in the prefab editor, this is one of the fun things, because this is not a lot of work to get to this. He basically copied and pasted a whole bunch of stuff. So I do dig the shifts and changes, and kudos to him and appreciate him sharing. So I'm going to pull up the actual editor here, and we're going to pop into, let's see, what is it labeled? Is it the Eko Box Plus, I think is what I called it. These names get really complicated after you get a ton of them. I don't need to save any changes. So here's where we left off last time. And I think I went in and I painted a little bit. So the things that I like, and I absolutely do not want to mess with on this, I like the staircase. I think this came out really well. So I'm happy with this design right here. The things that we ran into when we tested this. Rarnya. Be a beast to building game though. What, this one, Chessa? This isn't that hard. The last one would just take some time. When we get to some of the other, I mean, I've done some pretty nutty builds in game. We can look at some of the other builds I've done in game that I have in the prefab editor, that I've built live. So I'm not scared of the big builds, but we're going to tear up one side. So here's the problem that we ran into. So if I just pop this edge off here, just to take a look. Oh, and let me give some. Are you getting game volume now? Because you weren't a second ago. Oh, yep, there it's popping through. Concrete's easy. So here's what we noticed, that these electric fences really weren't being super effective. And unfortunately, this is one of the drawbacks of the prefab editor. I can pull out a wire tool, but it won't let me connect things. I don't think at all. I definitely won't save them. Yeah, you can't even connect. But this almost needs to be out one further to come across here, because for whatever reason the zombies weren't hitting there. So I think that this whole side section, and then we're gonna, for right now, we're just gonna peel the top off, and by peel it off, we're gonna lift the whole thing. So I pressed Shift Z to go into that space, and we're gonna go to the other side of the base and Shift Z. That's just to highlight the top. And I want to copy this. I'm going to delete it, and I'm just going to push it up. So if we want to grab this later, it's just up there floating in the sky. All right. So this is when I thought back to it. This format's going to be a little bit tricky to replicate. But the whole idea here was a lot of isolation. And I did think of one big improvement that I wanted to add to this. And that's that here on the sides of these doors, on both sides, if anyone saw last time, I really, after us playing with these guys, what are these called? Is this a scaffold ladder? Yes. Did not like the scaffolding ladder. Absolutely was horrible for melee. So we are definitely removing those. Did not like. I think that the scaffolding ladder on the side is great if you're doing a scenario where you're primarily shooting through, but if you have to do any melee, you end up hitting it more than you do, you know, anything else. So we'll think of another option for that fighting position there. So we'll get to that in a second. But I do want to use the scaffolding ladders in here. I was thinking about this. And the reason I thought about it here is that if And by if, I know in the Abyss series, how about window frames? HM, I want to be able to shoot through. Oh, are you talking about window frames here? That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever tried that. Can the zombies crawl through those? That's a great question. I don't know that one. Finn, hardware suggestions for someone in the market, just raw specs. It's 7 days to die, so minimum 32 megs of RAM. And then the other thing that I'll just say is that prioritize your CPU over your GPU, because 7 days to die is very, sorry, this song is driving me bonkers. It's a little bit much. It's a little bit more CPU bound than GPU bound. So let's see, we did put one of those up there. So what I used in the original base here, I used the double poles, but I kind of want to play with something else because we did this before. Yeah, no problem. So we used these before. These are way too constraining. These are nice because zombies aren't going to plow through at all. No way, no how. The other thing you can do, you know, we could do something like this. We could put these on the front. I'll show you a little trick that I sometimes will do. So we can put that on the front. What about the half block with the hole cut out in the center? Is it actually called a half block? Are you thinking this one? I haven't played with that. I think that's going to bug me from a kind of visual perspective. Maybe on the inside though. That might, let's try this out of a curiosity. Am I going to hate that? That might be interesting. Let's see how it is with that's interesting. I don't think I hate that, because that's also going to do something else for us. That's going to save the same you know what? I'm just totally curious now. Will this allow me to do this old trick? Somewhat. So the other block that I regularly will use here is a scaffold block, because you can lay grenades and you can pull back around the corner. I think we might go with that. I think you can shoot a melee through. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna play with this. Why? Because it's something different, and you know, I asked y'all to come here to help, and that gives some character to the base as well. Okay. So that fixes that fighting position a little bit, and I kind of like this. This will be cool once we actually paint this up here. All right, I just don't like these sides. I don't like these sides. This was overly complex with how I did these. If anything, I should mirror them so it's less clunky. We can put some spikes along here. Actually, that's not a bad idea. You know, just from a design perspective, some along here just And maybe not even spikes. Maybe we even go, because any block is going to act as a protecting agent. So let's look in here. So there's always these, you know, you can do these guys here. And those are just going to provide protection. Kind of don't mind that. That'll give some you know, we're going to work on one side at a time. Finn, I did say 32. I mean, you can get by with 16, but RAM is honestly one of the cheapest things that you can upgrade on a PC these days. So while you're doing it, just jump to 32. It's not a big cost shift. I will also say a lot of the people, it depends on if you're building from scratch, but from the people that I've talked to, DDR5 versus DDR4 seems to have a significant impact to 7 Days to Die. That was my experience, as well as several of the other folks that I know. And anyone here in chat who's got opinions on their PC rig and, you know, what worked for them. No, sorry, 32 gigs. They don't even make megabytes anymore in RAM. Sorry, my bad. What's going on, Cookie Gaming? How you doing? We're just doing some rework. I wanted to make this a little bit easier for me to build, quite honestly. And then we're gonna take this back in and we're gonna play with it again and see what's going on with the electrical fences, because I feel like they were jacked up last time. So I think I want to make these full flush like this, just so it logically fits in here. Yeah. Yeah, MBs are a blast from the past. We've kind of moved on from that. All right, so do I? Oh, I don't have this on advanced rotation. Let's grab that like that. So we're just doing these, moving these up to straight ramps. Oh, I see why I did this the way I did this. Okay, that's fine. I will figure out how to make that go flush. So the exterior of this one's pretty straightforward on how we make it flush. We can just use a simple ramp corner. And that'll flush up nicely. And then we can do the same thing on the other side. Like that. That actually, that simplifies the build a little bit. And we can flush that in like that there as well. So that's not a massive change, but it simplifies how to build it a little bit, if that makes sense. Oops, that's not what we meant to do. There we go. And then same thing on this side. We're just going to bring that up to the top like that. Okay. And then all this stuff up here can all be kind of flexible on how you do it. All right. So how did I do the center bits? Yeah, this is going to be tricky to do the tutorial on this one. That's what I'm also in my head. A while back, I had a hard drive that held a whopping 40 KB. Yeah, I think we all, well, most of the folks who play 7 Days remember some of those days of, you'll never need that much. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. All right. Some things that I want to do that I really liked. I really liked this, that Frenchie had added. So I think this is a great idea. Adding in some just little windows here to the side. And actually, you know what? Oh, did I blow out all the windows over there? I did. So we're just going to grab this and hope the new stable drops soon. Yeah, I didn't flip to the next one last time. I'm just kind of waiting. There wasn't anything major for me to shift to. So I didn't feel a need. I don't want to be too disruptive to the playthrough series I have going on right now either. So Frenchie did white all the way across here. I did a little combination of both. So I think I like this though. We'll keep this the way I did it. That gives a little offset in there. And then we might bring the roof down here in a second. Well, it's going to collapse on it the moment I bring it out of here. Okay, so that gives us enough to allow... Stay with stable. What? Josh, I've not seen that one. That's crazy talk. Yeah, that's a little bit wacky. All right, we're going to copy this and we're going to just bring it down to the top. We're going to slap this back down again. We flush. The one thing that as I was looking at this, that I threw, well, it's going to look weird over here. I don't know. You know what? I'm changing my mind, folks. This is what happens when I get to designing. Because I was looking at how this sat up here. I was thinking it would look good, you know, because I don't like this big flat wall here. I don't know. We'll keep playing. But I was thinking if you carried out the wedge 60 along the edge here, take it off the window and pull this piece. You could do that and have an overhang. Except for the angle's off. I don't know that I like that funky angle. No worries, Leo. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Maybe even just because that's the bottom half. Even something like that might be interesting. And then this needs broken up. I don't like any big swaths like this. I always feel they look, you know, looks a little janky. So we could also do this. 4-block round windows. So we got to look from the inside. So the center section... Yeah, we could have windows in the center section for sure. Not a bad idea. Oh, you know what might be cool, actually? You gave me a great idea there, Jill. How about not round? Why don't we put in a diamond window in the side? Give this thing some character, some love. So we'll grab... Where is it? Where is it? JA, I did see that and I hate it. We tried to use it last time. So it has advantages and disadvantages. It's really great for the blocking of the cop spit. It's really bad for melee. You can shoot through it easily. But I probably hit it more than I did hit the zombies on the other side. So I'm personally going to skip it. So we could go round or we can go ramped. We have the choice there. Ooh, no, there's also, there's a half arch. So there's not a half swinging melee stabbing. Yeah. So yeah, if you're using spears, you're probably really good with it. All right, let's play with this. Yeah, if you're spear your money. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Can't you get stuck on that ladder even in the horizontal position? Yes. Yes, you can. You do stick to it. Oh, you know what? Folks, I like this. So here's my thoughts on this. This becomes where we add some lighting to the base. So we could add our basic bulbs up here. Because at this point in time, we're going to start to get to the land of the electrical. So up here, we can slap a couple bulbs. The HM, you are reading my mind. You are absolutely reading my mind. That is where I was going. You can't. Yes, sort of. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take those out because we got to do that. And then we're going to put in. Sorry, hold. No, you're fine. What's going on, Edwin? Welcome in. So we'll actually do a storage box underneath here, and I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to storage box that. Now, we don't want these exposed to the backside, obviously, because that's just a recipe for sadness. So we'll have to think of how we cover this up and make some type of a windowsill, probably. So we could do something as simple as like a wedge ramp. But I want to look at some of the decorative pieces. Maybe we've got an interesting trim block. Flower boxes to hide them. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of what I was thinking. Doesn't matter as long as it's something you can attach to the back there so that plate. Yeah, plate with a lip. That's exactly kind of where my head space was. And they do have some of those. Is it up under here? There's that one. There's plate with a half wall there. Do I want that or do I just want that? Ta-da! Kind of makes me want to flip it up on the upside. There we go. I like that because then we can also get in some different color patterns in this. So we can do the interior of this in the green. And then what we'll do is we'll come in here and we're going to use, we can actually put in cabinets across the bottom of this, paint those in. And up here at the top, we're going to use one of my favorite tricks. And that is we're going to take the security grates. If you ever want to make a base look really good, these do such great work, folks. You take these in and you rotate them up onto the ceiling like that so that the light passes through them. Now, what is stopping that from Why can I not place there? Oh. Oh, yep. I see what's going on. That's what's going on. So we'll pop these up here, and now we can place this like that, and then the light will shine through and give some really cool effects down here. Let's see. We're going to want lighting in these rooms as well as on the front. So we'll have to think of, you know what, maybe it's, I think we actually put lights, I'm changing my whole idea on the side here. We're going to have to replicate this on the other side. Actually, let's do it on this side first, because, and we're going to copy this whole side over to the other one. So let's take that out. Ooh, okay. Ideas churning, folks. The brain's coming up with concepts. All right, let's grab just a plain block. So one plain square there. Oops, not there. There. And we've got the new pyramid block that we got, which we all waited for. Well, I waited for a while. I can't claim for everyone that was just like sitting around going, when is this block gonna come into play? There is a straight up pyramid. I use these a lot, and you know what? Where are my favorites? Oh, it's not, it doesn't carry through. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Is it? Let me see. If I just type in pyramid. There it is. How will this look? And let's grab spotlights. That's a player spotlight, which is what we wanted. And then now that we've done that, I don't like that block in the front there. I see why I did it though. Oh, well, we don't need that because of that. Okay. So this can be whatever. Though, you know, we're just having funsies at this point. So I'm just trying to think of what's going to look interesting and give it some character. There's the symmetrical wedge that goes up that if it was placed sideways might be interesting here. You could also put the high narrow wedges on there. No, that's going to look weird. That's going to look weird. These could look cool. Oh, actually, that'll look cool. Let's do that. Dig it. Okay, we just need to slap some paint on this. I'm going to leave those fronts open because we're going to wire everything up when we get over into... Because we're going to pull this into a game and throw a horde at it and see how it does. Actually, we've already got a test world that I think... I mean, we blew up the test world last time, but I think we can just chunk reload it and it'll be fine. I'll just have to rewire things up. Oh, that's right. Sorry. This it's my building habit, folks. I got distracted over here. We got to rebuild that a little bit too. Let's repaint everything real quick so everything doesn't look janktacular. Might need some more variation on the color palette on this too. Where's all sides? There we go. I'm just doing this white for now. We might change it in a second. There we go. Get that. And you know, the spikes, we should do something more interesting with these. Let's see. Let's grab that. Yeah, I like that. So that's the medicine box. How would these look shiny like that? I think those need to either be green. You go either the chalkboard green. See, I think red is going to look weird with the green motif. So I would either say to go that, or we can go the rusted roof might look good. Because we're trying to stick within a specific color palette. Red and green scares me. It just brings out the Christmas feel. The other option we can always do is the clay roof, which sounds super weird. I don't like it as much on these. The other option you can always do is just metal. The metal tread always looks good. But I feel like you want something with color in it. I feel like these are the best bets. Because we're black, white, and green are kind of the themes. We've already got this running through the base because we've got that as the roof. And we'll probably keep that motif as the roof because that way that ties the two base structures together. Okay. What did we do? I'm just looking over here. Oh, see, we made these flush. I would have also put scaffolding blocks on these because that's just another block that's going to give you character. So if I come in here and grab the scaffold, this guy here, and you face it outward. Kind of like the Chromebook I have. Oh, the chrome look. So now I wish you could paint the inside separate of this. That would be really ideal, but I don't think you can. Oh, actually you can. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm just playing. I'm not determined on what I'm doing here yet. This is often what I do when I'm coming up with ideas. That kind of maintains more of the theme that we've had going. All right. I'm going to leave that for now because we're going to play with it in a second once we get this into the world. Yeah, what did we do? We did carpet in here. Let's set time day. All right, so we got lights up there. We're going to have to wire those when we get in. I want to do some type of an industrial floor. I could do either the metal sheet flooring. We could do the metal tread. We could do the rust black. Always works well in scenarios like this. All right, those went to here. Okay, let's just take this over and do some quick testing in game. Oh, you know what? No, we're gonna get it close so that we're ready to do the full Horde Night test and see how it goes. Add some skylight. You know, skylights are not a bad idea. Well, skylights I definitely want back in this main base. That was something that I saw that Frenchie did that I mentioned that I really liked. So he came in and added for these. He used those diagonal. These are just awesome. These are meant for the oop. Oh, but we're gonna have to okay. We're gonna have to do this. So that's floating on the nothing right now, so that's not going to do anything. So we're going to have to essentially throw in corner pieces, like corner poles will work. So if we come back up under here, probably want something thinner than that, honestly. Though actually, I don't know. So that's an option. Though I'd like something a little bit less obtrusive. You could go with, what do they call this? This is called a two-way corner pole. So let's try two-way and see what else we get. That's still a pole. Just seeing what else, if we've got anything slimmer. Yeah, you could put the quarter pole in the corner. Good call. You could also put the hilarious gazebo block, but I will never remember to do it. But yes, we could go with this pole corner like this. Essentially, you just need something to hold the window in place. That'll also give just a little bit more character to add to it as well. You could also, if you just wanted to make it non-noticeable, the crown molding from Deco might work. Put a frameless window under them. Oh, yep. I see. Yeah, you went with one of these. Okay. Any of those would work fine. That makes sense. That makes sense. So we can pop these out. Hey, Frenchie. It's a little late on your end of things. I figured I'd just be sending you a link later to say, hey, here's where we went over your stuff. Yeah, that makes sense right there. There we go, folks. That's a nice little addition. I like that. That'll definitely give some light in that room. Let's finish up this side. This is the I gotta focus over here. What was I gonna do with this connector bit? Oh, that's right. We had started to do this on the other side. Yeah, no problem. This is, you know, I've spent a lot of time in these menus and I find it can be super daunting. Is that going to go the whole way across? Damn it. Control Z. Let's undo that. So when people can kind of see you play with different shapes, I feel like it makes it easier. You know what? I just want to try something else out here. I don't know how I feel about this, but we're gonna put it up here just for a second. Oh, I actually like that. I think that frames it. I kind of like that. I use those as the main windows for the base. See much more than the seam ones. Oh, I can see that. I can totally see that. I ran out of tea. Building a stadium. That sounds fun. The huge projects are fun though, man. That's what kind of keeps, you know, I love doing the big builds. Like I said before, we're gonna hit up some of the bigger builds. We're going to go check out a few of them probably end of stream. I'm just going to, rather than paint, because painting is a pain in the butt, we're just going to copy and paste this. And then we're just going to rotate it. And I think we missed some pieces on some of these over here. So we're just going to do the same thing. Pull that, this guy right here. Okay. I hate missing paint spots. Oh, that's right. And did we did replicate this. So that's our grenade chutes. So those are set up. Holy cow, it's a raven. What? What's going on, buddy? And we're gonna snag this whole side up here like this. You know what? Let's paint one side first. Raven flew the coop. What do we want the inside of this to be like? What did we do? That's right. We did. We'll keep that motif. We went with this. And we did it around the bottoms like this. Oops, didn't want to do that one. Use this as a separator. Take that off. We'll fix that in a second. Well, we'll fix that when we paint over it here in just a second, actually. So we'll go there and then across the top of the ceiling here. And obviously, folks, paint won't make your base operate better, but you know, it's good to look good in the apocalypse, right? This is one of the tricks, just to get a little bit more light. If you use medicine cabinet, yeah, get your lurk on, buddy. Medicine cabinet up in areas like this will help further push out the light, and you'll get a little bit, oh, interesting, it colored that side of this. You'll get a little bit more throw in terms of the light. Best part is I'm building it on a 4 gig machine. What do you mean by a 4 gig machine? Splain. Let's... Do we want green there? Do we want to hold that to that? Can that bottom ledge be painted? Only 4 gigs of RAM. You're playing 7 Days to Die with 4 gigs of RAM? Are you bending the laws of space and time? Because I feel like this game would just cry out in pain on 4 gigs of RAM. That's impressive. You've got to be playing with some settings to get that to quite work how you want it to. All right, we're going to continue this around the bottom. Yeah, I'm baffled. That's some impressive voodoo. I've been playing Alpha Point oh. No, it's fine. I mean, if you get it, if it works, it works, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, for a PC that old, you should be able to get some really cheap RAM though to slap in there. That's the one thing to, you know, folks. These doors have got to go. This is gonna drive me bonkers. We got to matching looking doors. Let's actually get long term. These will be so there's green, there's army green. Or I could just go black. Let's see what the black ones look like. Army green? We can try army green. That's, I don't know how army green that is. All right. So it'll go like that. Jill eventually will flip the steel. But I'm, so part of what I'm building this for is for my Abyss series, because I'll be building this in the playthrough series. And this is the base I'll probably be building for the Day 21 Horde. And I have had no luck finding a Crucible yet. So the only steel that I've gotten is from quest rewards. Your tier 2 quest rewards give you a lot of steel. So I don't want to bank on that. I'm going to assume that I'm only going to have iron. What's going on, LD? Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. And yeah. So the other reason I'm building this, for anyone who doesn't know, the whole concept in my Abyss series that I'm doing, and if you don't like playthrough series, don't go check it out. But if you like playthrough series, go check it out, because it's something very different. It's got a lot of role-playing elements to it. And it's got some massive challenges in that the whole concept is there's this dude, Dr. Eko, and he is stuffed into a server and trying to get out, basically. And he's got his old friend. It's just screwing him over left and right in the real world. And so he's in a server. He's got an AI unit that was helping him, but the AI unit doesn't have access to help him. Do I not have a helmet light? Let's grab us one of those real quick. And so every day that the playthrough progresses, the AI block damage increases by 5%. So in the episode that I've got to finish after I get off a stream tonight, I'm editing the horde battle on the day 14 horde with block damage at 170%. So that just keeps scaling every day, 5% block damage. Every time he dies, 5% block damage increase. And there is no upper limit. So it's kind of a race against time. And he's got to build a horde base and survive in all 4 of the biomes. Yeah, good thing there. Sorry, I got distracted. We're gonna grab the helmet. Just grab that and that. Modify that and slot that in it. Ah, much better. There we go, folks. See, this is starting to come together. And then I'm thinking maybe this right here, but I'm not positive. I'm not sold on it. Yeah, Raven is good at murdering me. So if y'all are interested in murdering me, I've got a Twitch integration stream this Friday. But y'all are more than welcome to come by and hang out. If you show up early to stream, I give out a bunch of points at the beginning of stream so that people can do all the bad things to me. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Take that off for a second and just do that. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, actually, I do like that. I do like that. That further outlines things. All right, now it's starting to come together. It's starting to look good. We just need to copy and paste everything because I think that's painted enough. Oh, nope, we missed this. There we go. Because we don't want to have to do this on the other side, right? We'll just do this once. And what did I do there? What is this weird block? Oh! Is that the leftovers from... That doesn't need to be there. That can be a regular block. I'm gonna have to deconstruct this all after the fact so that I can break this down into a step-by-step video, which I will be coming out with so that y'all can easily build something like this. Let's just trying to copy that. Can I fit that in that corner? Do I need to? We're just going to leave that alone for now. Okay. And we're actually going to leave these as white so these are easier to see. And then I always like to take the position in here and round it with metal. Use the corners for lights. Good call. I like what you're thinking. I like the way you think. Good stuff. Why can't... What is in that spot? All right. Is it just that... there we go. I like that because that'll kind of be indirect lights. That's a great idea. That's a great call. I like it. I like it. And let's use our good old medicine cabinet also just right above that, because the light will reflect off of that. And like I said, we were going to go ahead and put metal in here. So we're going to go with the... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Corner grates for what? All right, last thing we got to do is fix this. I was going to go with the overhang like we did on this side. I don't know if it's going to work though. Corner grates for the lights. Yeah, I don't think so, because we don't want to cover up. We want access to that. In this spot, right? Yeah, no, not with, because of how the blocks are set up in there. I also might change that from a basic light over to industrial lights because they're less harsh. But we'll take a look at that in a second. All right, all this is set up. That's right. We're just going to fix this real quick. So we're going to try this and see if this works or if I hate it. See, I feel like it's going to be weird. Or lanterns. Yeah, well, lanterns provide crazy amounts of light. Yeah, if y'all saw Tem trying to light up his base in his bedrock, he ran into, you know, kind of issues with just how things looked. So let me just try something here. I just want to grab a 3/4 block up here. There's a 3/4, right? I'm not crazy. Yes. Oh, so that will slide under there like that. Okay. I think I like this, folks. I think this is feeling good. Oh, back to the narrow. Did I do that wrong? Yes, that's the wrong one. There we go. Okay. I think we're about ready to do some testing over in the real world where we can wire this thing up and see what's going on. Because we got to figure out what was wrong with the electric fences, because when we did this before, it had issues. The zombies weren't really getting to. All right, we don't need to worry about that side because we're going to copy and paste it. All right, so now that we've got everything kind of how we want it, now's when we do the magic. All right. That doesn't need to go out that far, so we're going to do like that. And again, to change, it's Z to put down the blue bounding box, and then just holding G allows you to move it. But if you do Shift and G, that gives you your pool corners here, so you can expand out like this. So we're going to take this right back to there. Actually, we're going to split it right down the middle. No. Oh, I just realized. Well, this will be interesting. Yeah, I think that's all we want to pull. If we pull more than that, it's going to be problematic. It's going to do some weird stuff. This already might do some weird stuff. I'm pretty sure I didn't account for something. All right, so that is everything. So we're going to copy that, and you're going to hold G and slide it way out here. And I'm going to paste it, Control V. And then I'm just going to flip it twice. So X is what you do for rotating. So X, and then we rotate again, X. Now we're going to copy it again, Control C, and then delete it, which is J. And then we're going to slide it back into place. So we're going to just grab it right here. Hit Control V. And ta-da, this side looks just like the other side. Now, we'll look inside and see if that screwed anything up. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're in pretty good shape. Okay. Some paint needed in here, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Oh, and it looks like, did we blow up this? Yeah, we got to figure out these, because we'd have double doors in here as well. We got those. Let's get doors, and I think double whites is what we wanted for these. So one here, and we'll have one on the opposite side. Okay, and then we'll fill in the rest of the walls and stuff. That's all fine. All right, I think we're good to take this into the world and wire it up. So let's first off save it. We're gonna pop out of here. We'll go into one of my 18,000 save games. All right, Sentinel wiring is what we're gonna get to. So we did Eko Box testing somewhere. Test Eko Plus. All right. Now, I'm pretty sure when we go in here, the base will be a pile of rubble, but we're going to try to resurrect it. We'll see if this works. Yep. So this is, this was what it looked like after we got done with it last time. So we're just going to come stand in the middle of this and press F1CR. And hey, look, we got a base. Which is good because I don't have to worry about... I'm not going to even worry about those loot bags. All right, so now we got to wire things up. That's the one thing that I didn't account for before. I should have done that. So let's grab and how do I want to do this? Do I want to do switches? We're just going to lazy wire this. We're going to put the generator up here in the center because that's a good safe spot for it. So we'll grab a generator. We'll grab 6 engines. We've already got gas, it looks like, so we'll slap that on the roof there. Unfortunately, wiring is not something you can do in the prefab editor. If you do, all the wiring gets lost. All right, so we wire that up. And we're going to go from here. We'll just hit all of our lights. Let's go ahead and turn that on. I love that you can't see these anymore. So we're going to go ahead and redirect these real quick. Down to the fighting position. Hold down E. Click aim. Click on the camera preview and readjust. So we're going to go ahead and light up these here. Oops. Do I have... Come on. Am I pressing the wrong buttons? Yes, I am. I'm being dumb. And it doesn't matter the order we do these anymore, because you know what? It's cables don't show, so we can do this straight up ugly. Got so used to hiding the cables, folks. I spent stupid amounts of time. Is there space for roof access for actual survival wiring? LD, what do you mean by survival wiring? Like to repair during Horde Night? Yeah, true, Bruce. True. All right, so all that's wired and good. LD, you can't do the wiring in creative. Oh, no. Oh, I see what you're saying. To actually get up here. Yeah, I'd put a ladder up somewhere. I'd probably put an access ladder. Like right there. Good call. So we'll remember that when we're over in... We'll have to add that when we're back in, because anything that we change here won't stay. So there's no point in updating it here. But yeah, no, totally makes sense. I'm following you. All right, the last thing we're going to do is do the electrical on the electric fences, and I'm still not sure why these weren't working before. So we'll do that one to... Actually, do we want to... how many chains do we have? I can't remember. You can do like 14 off of a generator bank. All right, so right side is the repair side, just so we remember. So when you're wiring up electrical fences, folks, the last side that the power goes to is the one that actually takes damage for repair purposes. So during Horde Night, this is the side that'll have to be repaired. So I always just make sure you... Jill, I'm using my famous ignore the vultures defense. You can throw a turret up there. We can do that. I get that question a lot of what are you going to do for vulture defense? And I'll be honest, my answer most of the time is ignore them because they don't do enough damage. Like, vultures won't break through concrete. They just won't. Not during Horde Night. They might do some damage in the area above. So if you wanted to, right above where your fighting position is here, you can add a few spikes if you want to. I hate spikes because I hate repairing them. I'd rather just repair the ceiling and call it a day. But alternatively, we could probably just put... Yeah, for early game, you can do it with spikes. You know, I'm not going to lie. I just did the day 14 Horde and no spoilers, but they didn't manage to break through a wood roof. And I just ignored them. So that's day 14 survivalist with them doing 170% block damage. So if that doesn't give you kind of an idea of how irrelevant they really are, they're just annoying. The noise they make is annoying, but they don't do any damage of any substance. So that's my take. All right, I think this is pretty good. You can always use plating for the roof also. Yeah, you can throw a few, if you're worried about it, you could come up and throw some spikes up here too, just so that they've got to go through one more block to break through. But again, I've never had them make it through. So here's a weird thing. So if I look at this, yeah, I feel like they changed this. So this is where I'm running into issues, folks. So the zombies are not going to hit those electrical fences anymore. Unless they really... So this is more of a protection thing. You've got to be 2 full blocks forward. This sucks. Yeah, HM, I fully recognize this. This is a problem. This is a change in Alpha 21. So if I look at the electrical fence, I need to place some down on the ground and just look at them. Yeah, so that's the problem. They brought them back in so they don't go to the end. Let me think of this. Yeah, I put them on the outside of the Eko Box and they pin them. Yeah, this is super irritating. So I want to try something else out of curiosity. Just... Yes, this is wacky placement. I'm just trying something out of curiosity. Okay. Yeah, damn, that's annoying. Okay. So without changing the footprint, there's a way we can change this. No, so it's only one out if they're placed up and down, LD. Yeah. If they're placed up and down, it's okay. So here's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, that makes it difficult. I can place a single one, but I can't place two. Not without going down one and up one. So this would have to come down two more, which I can play with, but I think one fence is probably fine. We'll make it work with this. So we're going to take that out. We're going to do the same thing over here. And then we're going to put them in like this. And then wiring wise, again, we're going to go left to right. So we're going to come to this one, from this one to this one. What is the goal here, Raycar? Right now, I'm just patching together a new horde base that I'll be using in a playthrough series. Yes, I do want to be able to repair them from inside. I always want my electric fences repairable from the inside. See, so that now gets us to the point where we can happily walk through and get electrocuted. Now, if I wanted to double them up, though, is what I'm saying, I could dig... We're going to put a horde through it, Leo. That's the whole reason why we're in this world. But I am going to do this real quick. We're going to repair everything. We're going to get rid of that. We've got that. Don't need that. Foodstuffs. We're going to make a quick copy of the game. Let's also just take a look and see what this looks like at night. Not too shabby looking. You know what? I might not mind having light on the bottom. Look, a tester showed up. All right, and I'll show everyone what I'm spec to as well here. So yeah, Raycar, yep, no, I know you could do them upside down. We'd have to do some serious modifications. We got to dig down one and dig up one. I might play with that after stream if this ultimately works. I think we're in a pretty good state right now. All right, so I'm gonna pull in here. I'm gonna pop out a game real quick and make a quick copy of the save file. That way, if we need to go back and just give it a second go, destruction is irrelevant, and everything's already done. So give me just half a second. So I'm gonna just come in here. This is my Eko POI test map, and this is the test Eko Plus, and we're just going to copy it and make a quick backup. Okay. All right, let's hop back in. Hey, HC Magic, welcome in. All right, so we're going to mimic the same settings that I'm using on the Abyss, because that's kind of what this is a test for, to see if it functions. I think it'll be fine. But if I look at the day, so this will be going up against a day 21 horde, as you know, just as an example. And I think I'm already leveled appropriately for that. So let me just take a look at day 21 will be 205% block damage. So that's what we're going to crank it up to. Assuming that I don't die again, which who knows? I could. All right. So 205% block damage, 64 zombies, jog, sprint, survivalist, server not listed, and we're good to go. Let's go do some Horde Night and see how it goes. All right, and we're all healed up and stuff. And just so that everyone who's new here knows how I kind of spec'd out the character, what we've got is a primary int build. So we've got int all the way. Actually, we should be all the way up on int. And we're all the way, should be all the way up on electrocutioner. 1 point there. We've got 3 points here. And physician's fully maxed. None of the rest of this matters for the purposes of this. And I do have a little shooty turret that I probably won't use. But we've got him. Yeah, I like the corner lights. They provide kind of indirect illumination. Not too obnoxious. All right, let's move it up to day 21. 2100. We'll give the few seconds there before Horde Night hits. Oh, you know what? This would help. Oh man, the int build is so much freaking fun. Oh, let's make sure we only have one side unlocked. All right, I'm going to kill the music so we can kind of hear the zombies coming. Oh, what are you doing down there? You shouldn't be doing that. Okay, there we go. We'll take a look from the outside. Hey, Brad, this is, you know what? I didn't give myself grenades. That's a grenade shoot, Brad. But they are pathing rather nicely. So we'll check, we'll ignore the buzzards the whole time. We'll see how they're doing at the end. The int build is so strong, folks. It is broken levels of strong. And I'm using the so this is also, you can shoot down through here, which if you get them stacking up, this will get them to stop. So it's another way to break rage mode. That electricity on the so we're just gonna test pathing here in a second. So we want to make sure that we can get them to pivot to the opposite side. So you could wait till this side completely failed. I'm just curious to see what the damage is like. They haven't had much of a chance because there's those electric fences. HC, it's not tall enough to get the 11 block advantage, if that's what you were going for. All right, you get off. Yeah, a few of them are hitting on the ledges down there, which that's your disadvantage. So we're gonna rotate, we're gonna dump, we're gonna switch it up, and everyone should pivot to this side. The water pit is a real nightmare because water is still janky, Jill. So repairing the water, refilling it after Horde Night is kind of a pain in the butt. So this is where if you have some grenades to drop by, LD, if zombies drop more than 11 blocks, when they hit the ground, when they ragdoll, they don't go into rage mode. So the other nice thing with how we set this up, folks, is that we can easily repair. Which, did I... Oh, there we go. So you can see, we just pop over here for repairs. Goodbye, puppy. So yeah, if you had had some grenades here, it would be really nice. Wonder if I could I set? Yeah, that's not going to set there. That would be funny. Oh, that gives me idea, folks. All right, so I've got no question about whether this is working. But what I do have is an idea. I've got a great idea. I'm going to try this in a second. Get out, dog. All right. Is there any concern from anyone of whether this is functioning? Because I feel like this is a pretty solid test at this point. So we're going to DM... We're going to go add a body real quick. So you can see the birds are just going to beat on the top. They're not doing anything substantial. Little damage being done down here. They are stacking up, but this should prevent them from getting all the way up. All right, back to here. And that electrical man just... All right. All right, we're going to set time to day for a second. We're going to kill everyone. I have a great idea. So you can see, did they do damage? Yes. They almost made it through one block. But in terms of lasting, yeah. You're good. You're freaking golden. And this spiral staircase seems to work really well. They don't seem to beat it up much, which is pretty good. The door seems to be in good shape. This one took a little bit more damage, but we stayed on this side longer. So Raykar, no, it will not, but you're hitting on an idea that I had. So I was wondering, what if we do something like this? We're going to try another Horde Night briefly. Yeah. No, yeah, I like this. We're in Mora, we're definitely going to be using that in the base for sure. So when when you see it come out in the Abyss, and for folks who don't know, there's the link to the Abyss. Go check it out. It's a labor of love. Hasn't got a lot of traction, but I think it's a unique series that folks will enjoy. Let me go ahead and grab CM, and we're gonna pull out the dev gun here, blow out the floor. So here's my thought. And maybe I do it here. I don't know. We're going to do it right here. And then we're going to do some flying. How far down can I go for this to work? That's a weird spot. That's a weird spot too. It needs to be in the hallway. We're just going to do this quick and dirty, so it's not going to be pretty. I just want to vet this idea that I have in my head. So we're going to come in here, and we'll do it maybe here and here. Oh yeah, this will work. This will work. Okay. So what I want to do is, let's try this. Underneath, we will create a, how do I want to do this? 3D truss? We could do 3D truss. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter what I do it with. This is going to be quick and dirty. You know what? I actually hate that. Because that's going to look too bulky. So we can't have anything in that space. That space is going to be occupied. I'm just going to use security grates because they're the simple. They work. They're good. And we'll do some on the sides here. I don't know if we'll get the angle, but we're going to test this. Wait, do that side like that. Like that. And then on this side, let's split that in half real quick. And I'm doing this specifically. It's kind of funny. I was just talking to Tem, and, you know, he was referencing the idea of me putting together bases built on specific builds. And this would be very much so in that vein. So we're going to take a 2-meter door trim and just place it along the side here. And then that'll allow us to go ahead and place this on the bottom like this. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Will this work though? That is the question. Okay. Doesn't like that. Let me try if we flip out the security grates. Exactly. Turret cage. We're going to try putting plates here. And see if it just didn't like that. But that way, you know, if you're playing an imp build like this, why does it really need Has to be the bottom. Like a full block. You think so? Does it need more than 2 spaces? That's the question. I wonder if that's... Oh, or is it a height thing? Totally curious. If I do this... Nope, it's okay with that. I think it might be the walls. Let's experiment. Yeah, I think it's the width. I think you're right. So we're just experimenting here. So let's copy that. Ta-da! It needed more space. And then we'll use the same trick we've used in other places. And that's that we'll just toss in a door here. Oh, it doesn't like that, does it? It's interacting. Are you worried about... Cop spit shouldn't target it, LD. There's no reason for cops to target it. But I do need a solution for the top. You know what? You could do this. You could take a pair of shutters. Oh, interesting. It doesn't mind shutters at all. So you could do something like that. Just make sure you don't fall through them. You might want parkour for this one. All right, let's just give it a try. We're just futzing around here, so... Back to Horde Night. This side is activated. I just want to see if it... All right. We're gonna fly down here and check this out in a second. There we go. That's a whole crowd of them down. It has ammo. So we're gonna do this. Did it run out of ammo already? Oh, am I out of range? Let's check this. Can y'all just chill out for a second? I think it flew through ammo is what happened. All right. So Leo, I'm doing this for an intellect build where I might not have access to an SMG turret. So we're just kind of testing some things for fun. So yeah, it's firing off. An SMG or shotgun turret, honestly, kind of an interesting call, but you could put those over in the corner here. So I feel good about this, folks. I think this is a winner. So I am going to do a full tutorial on how to build this one, as well as some ideas. I'll secondarily do a video on, I like them on the roof, get this headshot. So here's one of the things, just to show folks, if you're concerned about vultures going through your roof. So keep in mind, we're on 200% block damage. Those vultures could have beat on this all horde night long, and they wouldn't have made it anywhere. So I'm not saying it's not a good idea putting a putting turrets up there, but they're not the biggest concern. So I mentioned to one of my community members that I was going to do one more thing on this stream, and that's I'm going to wire up the Sentinel. If any of y'all have seen this base. And if you have questions afterwards, just leave them down in the comments, by the way, on the video. But we're going to continue the Sentinel wiring here, and I'm going to show you this base. This was a monstrosity. I actually built this, the base that I'm going to show you here. I built this over the course of 2 or 3 live streams just for fun, back in Alpha 20. It's one of my favorite designs I've ever done. This was a massive build, but I am going to do the wiring for it here. So if you have questions as I go, just ask. I'm going to be using creative mode to fly around and wire it up because it's a beast. So you can see I used a similar sort of format to hide the electrical fences on this one, which interestingly enough, I wonder if these will work. And now that we're in, no, these will work because I've got them vertically on the inside. All right. So there's a lot to wire up here. You can see relays all over the place. Now, part of the reason I had so many relays is because I was hiding the cables and I didn't want ugly cables everywhere. So we can kind of get away without some of that. So the power train for this whole place happens downstairs. So these yellow blocks here that you see, these are all built to allow light to pass through. So if I go all the way down into the bowels, how far down did we go? Here. So when you come into the base, once this is wired up, this will be an automated drawbridge. You come in through here. There's 2 separate power trains, one on each side. Let's make sure we have a light, a helmet light this time. F1 CM creative mode. Let's grab a dev helmet. All right. So I like to color code. I'm a huge fan of this. Whenever I do base wiring, I will color things. So for example, the solar array in the back here is yellow. The one in the front is red. Yellow is typically for me lighting, and red is typically traps and things like that, so that I can isolate circuits so that when you're managing how much a circuit can hold. So I've already loaded these. Now, if you come into, anytime you install a prefab into a new world and you load up that world, any container is empty because containers are linked to players. So it has to automatically empty them out. So you have to repopulate them with solar cells. I've already done that. So if you're wondering how the hell do you have these inside, I did a whole video on this, talking about blocks that allow light to pass through, but your go-to block is this magic critter right here. It is called an air duct, and light passes right through it. No problem. So we're going to wire from here, from the red solar to our red battery, and from our yellow to our yellow battery. And I've already pre-populated these. We're going to go ahead and turn everything on. So that's on. That's on. Let's turn these on. So what this does is if you do these in sequence where you go from the solar bank to a battery bank, then during the day it will charge up the batteries. At night, when you're not getting light power from these, it'll use the battery banks instead. So that's your first step. Now let's see. This is okay. This is going to be, I got to remember how to wire some of this myself. So first thing, do we have lights in this room? I don't see lights in this room. I'm going to assume some of this is me just kind of re-remembering, folks, so bear with me. So we'll come from here up to here. I think this is lighting going up because traps are going to go that way. Yeah, so the traps will come from here to here. Lighting will go across here up into that, as well as over to here. And now all of this lighting for one could be simplified now. All of the way I did this, so you can see what I did here in Alpha 20. I had this cable come up and go through this so that you don't really notice it. Now all the cables, once I turn this off, you don't even see cables. So you could get away with not, you could kind of trim out a good chunk of the lighting, the tricks that I have in here. So you can kind of just jump this all over the place once you're in here. Because there's no reason to, there's no cables to hide. So all these tricks that I did before become kind of irrelevant. I should do a little bit of a rework on this, but a lot of the pipes and stuff that like this that I used, no timer in this one, LD, just because it's all solar powered, so you don't need it. You could absolutely add one. No reason not to. Once I get to solar power, I don't normally worry about it that much. All right, let's get this wired up, because this is probably one of the trickier things, getting the drawbridge functioning. So we'll come from off of the light. We'll use that one for the drawbridge. So there's going to be, I was just thinking that, Chessa. So up here in the roof, there are 2 motion sensors. So we're going to come, and it doesn't matter which order you do it. So we've got 1 motion sensor outside and 1 inside. So here's the thing, the way this works. So if I go from 1 motion sensor and I go from this motion sensor to this one, if you have back-to-back motion sensors, it creates an OR circuit. So if either of those are triggered, then it will cause the action to take place. So before, I had this all sneaky where it came down, I think, into the floor or through the wall or hit it. But because cables don't show up, there's no reason to do that. So we're going to wire straight to there, and we're also going to wire from here to the spotlight. All right. Now let's just fix this here. Power delay is instant. Power duration, we want it to be whatever, however long you want your drawbridge to stay open. We'll say 30 seconds. We'll aim it right down there. We'll go in the inside. Grab the other one. And instant and 30 seconds. Camera angle. This one's a little bit tricky to do because it's facing straight down like that. And there you go. Now, why aren't we getting power? Let's just double check what we did. Check our work. Check there and there. Is it because I'm in God mode? Is it giving me an issue? Oh, and it looks like we lost some blocks here. Oh, those changed a little bit, I think, with Alpha 21. All right, why isn't that triggering? Power's going to there. Oh, you know what it is? So this is the one other thing that I'll mention. Let's get a fresh power drawbridge. I forgot about this. Anytime you bring a prefab in, I don't know why the drawbridges are jacked up. They just... So put a fresh drawbridge in. Connect this up. And hopefully that does it. Sorry, I'm just getting rid of zombies real quick. All right. So we had power going from this one to this one. Instant, target allies, target self. Target self, target allies, instant, 30 seconds. Yeah, the power's on. See how the 5M is showing up yellow? So the one other thing that I'll check, and this might be, it might not just be the drawbridges. There might be some of the sensors type stuff like this that just doesn't stick well. So we're just out of curiosity. We're going to try this. And that one is facing... like that. Yeah, it's been a little bit since I've rewired these after the fact, so... But yeah, see how it shows up yellow instead of white? That's how you can tell. So that one's powered, that one's powered. Yeah, that was the problem. So it's you got to replace the motion sensors, unfortunately. So again, set this to 30 seconds, readjust this to here. Chessa, it wouldn't have connected if it wasn't powered. You always know it because when you try to actually connect the wire, it won't connect. But good call. Absolutely good suggestion. And then just make sure that this is pointed down so that it minimizes your impact. And now it acts as an OR gate. So you can come from either side. So that's our drawbridge. I'll show you how to do the most of the attack points from one side. So we'll take this one up. Can't remember, where did I take this from? That's yeah. So you can see I laid these down here. So there's a whole trail under here. If I was not doing this in creative, yeah, no problem, Moogie. If you wanted to do this, holy crap, LD, no. I will not be using this for one of the later biomes. This is a base I built earlier this year, I think, that I'm just showing the wiring for one of my community members who's been trying to wire it up. So I use security grates in here just because I like the way they look on the ceiling, but you have to do the wiring as you go. My recommendation would be to put rails in here, because if you had done these with rails, then you could repair or do the wiring that I'm doing now. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to come from this. We're going to come up to our switch here so that one's lit. So this is going to be the drawbridge control, which is out there. The next one over here is going to be the traps control. So we'll pull this one from this again. Pull it up to here for the traps. So we'll go from there to the light. And then this is going to go in several different spots. So this will, for one, it'll go from here to our electric fences here. Unless, did I make a separate one for electric fences? I don't think so. All right. right, and then the electric fences will come back across here like so. And then next, we're going to carry this is going to go upstairs. So you would connect it there. Well, and then you would bring it up to the top here. So there's a red one right above. So you can see how I did this again, Alpha 20, hiding things in walls. This is the whole idea. You could simplify all this wiring, but hopefully this gets the concept. Then once you're up top, you're going to carry this up onto this walkway here. And that's what all these relays are for out here. So to get these across to your blade traps, just come along here, connect up, bring this to here. Yeah, this is so much easier to wire now, folks, when you don't have to worry about seeing the cables, the ugly cables. All right, so that'll go to there. Kind of don't have to worry about this much at all. So those are all wired up. And then lastly, we've got the lighting across the top. And I'm going to only show one side of how to wire this up because I think that's all it's going to take for the idea to get across. So the yellow side is over there. So again, we can grab any of the lights that we have in the base and use them as a carry point. All right, so we got the lights going out here. So we just grab this out here and go from there to there, from there to there. We can kind of just do it willy-nilly at this point in time. And you'd want to angle all these down so that they're facing where the zombies come in. So now that that's all set up, you're able to come down here and flip on your traps. And you'll see the electric fence is now active out here. As I should be. Yep. Yep. And you can see all the blade traps are going. So that covers that. Oh, yep. We got some more traps down at the bottom. All right. So there's a second set here. So this here, this is going to go to here. This goes to here. And then this goes down below us. So we've got that here. And then this is going to go to the motion sensor right here. And I'll explain why we did this the way we did this. And again, you'll have to replace that motion sensor. Before I even get started, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll carry from that over to here. From here, it's going to light up both of these dart traps. So if I have some darts, we're going to lock that and make sure you lock your traps. If you don't lock your traps, they won't function, folks. But the whole reason I added this in here is just so you have the option to turn this on and off for Horde Night or otherwise. So now if I spawn zombies in here, whatever, we'll see if it's functioning. Oh, and this is on a timer relay also. I put this in so it only kicked off during Horde Nights. So we can... What time is it now? It's 12:15, so... So now the power's there. Now the power's here. Triggered instance, duration, whatever, 5 seconds. And we just change it out to zombies. And you can see it senses the zombies and it starts to murder them. So the whole idea of this base, and I really want to play with the concept of this base again, because it prevents the rage mode by not letting the zombies drop a full 4 blocks. As they fall off of this, they hit this slope that gently slides them down to the center, and then they get chewed apart. Like I just did. But that was the reason I added the switch at the bottom. Oh my gosh. How long have I been frozen, folks? I'm frozen with quite the face, too. Let me fix that real quick. Nope, that's dead. Okay. We'll do that one. I was like, oh, frozen in time. All right. So, a couple last things to show how to wire up. I think I got most of the switches. That's the trickier spot for people to figure out. Oh, this is kind of a nice one. So lighting should just carry the whole way across once it gets into that underbelly. So lighting went up, yellow, yellow, yellow. Yes, so this is the lighting one. It follows the whole way along this interior here. And you just do the same side. So you'll carry it all the way across like this, and from here to all of these. And you can just make this messy. It doesn't matter anymore because you won't see it. It's glorious. So once you get over to the end here, you can also use it for this. You just bring it up to there, and then from here, you're going to bring it down to all 3 of these doors, which this might have messed up too. Yeah, it looks like this messed up on the conversion. So you're going to... So these will have to be replaced. Let's grab this concrete. Whatever. That'll work. I don't care. But this is vault hatches here. So just make sure you have powered vault hatches. And I put these in here. I'll show you how this works in a second. Do it from this side, probably easier. Is that right? Yes. So you put these across here, and then you have this come down to here to all 3 of them. And the reason I did this is the way this base works, the zombies all path up these ladders. And you have the option to just flip the switch, and it gives you a firing position. But you don't want this open all the time, because as you're walking by it, you'll just get obliterated by cop spit. So that's how that wires up. Hi, buddy. How are you doing? Goodbye. Oh, that's the last thing. I think you can wire it off of either channel, but just grab from the lights. Oh, we already did wire it up to here. So this switch here is going to go from here out to your vault door here. And these are going to have to be replaced as well, it looks like. This is super annoying. I didn't realize that this happened. The conversions did not get all this right. So these will need to be taken out. And then advance rotate. You just want to make sure it's doing the right thing. So that's right there should be correct. And then same thing as I mentioned before, you're going to come from here. Just connect it up to that guy right there. And now when you switch this on, it's going to pull that vault door up. And then this becomes an active lane, much like you saw me do in the other horde base. But this is just powered so that you're not having to manually reach down and flip it. What other power stuff? Oh, there's more power. There's always more power. More power. All right, how do we connect these up? Oh, that's okay. Got it. All right. So the other reason you have this set up down here is this is for the channels down below. So you'll come down here. Let me see. Did I connect that? Go back. Sorry. I actually don't want to be in God mode when I do this because it's going to mess it up. All right. So you've got these hallways underneath. So we're going to come here. Did it? Okay. Yep. I'm just making sure my connection's still good. All right. So we're going to go from here to that relay. And then this gives us exterior access. And we actually want to end here because we can repair these during Horde Night. So let me see. Let me see if this is the right way I wanted to do these. No, I did not make these so that they could be repaired during Horde Night. I lied. So you'll connect these to both of these. And then you'll be able to come out here. That's right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you go from this one over to this one. And that creates a line there. And then you have another one coming from here over to this one. And that's how those wired up. And you'll do the same thing. You'll just mirror it on the other side. And that way, as the zombies come through, you'll see you end up with quite the crisscross of lines here. Brad, yes, it is. It would just take you time. You know, the question is, Brad, would you want to build it in a solo game? For me, this is the type of base that you would see me build on a community server because I enjoy. This is built, if you look at it from up here. So this is built with multiple fighting positions. So it's got, you know, one fighting position where you could have people up here shooting down as the zombies are pathing. You've got side positions here where as the zombies run around the edge, they can fight here. There's the melee position on each side for them to fight. This is very multiplayer centric in the design. So it depends, you know, on what you enjoy in 7 days. So that gets all the electrical. So this is again why we also, when you come down to loot at the end of Horde Night, by wiring this through this chain over here, this means when I turn that off, if I'm going out after Horde Night, I can walk through these without getting shocked. So you're just turning all the traps off so you don't accidentally kill yourself. Trying to make sure I got all the last little wiring bits. Yeah, I'll still absolutely color code everything because I think it still makes it easier when you go back to try to wire something. And you're just wondering, like, what circuit is this on? Because at a certain point in time, you start to load up a circuit and you want to know how much power you've put on each one. And having that color coding helps you kind of keep track of that a little easier. So there was one more fighting position over here. So this is where, you know, as the zombies are coming up the ladders, you can tag them here as well. There's a million different places to have people fighting in this base. So the one other just small electrical thing over here, I added again another solar bank in here, and it's the sole purpose of this one is just for the lights on the side. That's all it was. It's totally 100% overkill. So that is the wiring for the Sentinel. And I'll hand this out to my community member who was trying to figure this out, and hopefully that helps out. And then the one other thing, you know, you were asking about bases that I've built in game. So if we look at like, actually I got to exit out of here. If I go look at Winter's Edge, how does a solar panel work indoors? I'll show you in a second. And I will also give you this as a reference point. Yeah, let me grab this real quick while this is loading up. So I did a whole video on solar panels and growing plants underground. It's an Alpha 20 video, but it 100% is still very relevant. The blocks and whatnot have not changed. So let me see. So yeah, if you check out that video, it'll walk you through all the different types of blocks that you can use to place underneath. All right. Yeah, absolutely, folks. I enjoy doing these streams. So I'm going to be streaming every Wednesday from now on YouTube. I'll be doing either a build stream or I'll be showing off what my community has been doing for builds. So you can kind of check that out. But either way, Wednesday at 8 Central is, I'm going to just make this sacrosanct and I'll be on doing my thing. So let's check out Winter's Edge. This was a community built base. We're going to save that just in case. So I built this by myself on the community server a number of seasons back. This is one of my favorite builds because it was built, it doesn't fit well as a POI because it was carved out of a mountainside where I built all this coming in. But I absolutely loved this base. But this is a good example of, like, I think I had this done by day 80 in game, and I wasn't on for half of the days. So if this gives you an idea of scale of what you can do. So the idea of this base, it actually used the drawbridges as the ways to let the zombies in. The zombies would come through here. They'd have to jump over here. They get shocked by electrical fences all along the way as they're coming through. They're getting pelted by dart traps that are shooting through all these. If they manage to make it through here, they came up to a central fighting position that was inside the base. So you would actually fight from in here. So both, either the paths, regardless of which one was open. Now here was the other cool thing. During Horde Night, you could come down here and it had vault doors that flip down to protect the zombies from popping through. So during Horde Night, depending upon which lane was open, you could jump back through here. I just can't manage to do it in God mode. And you could come loot over here in the middle of Horde Night. So this was another very pretty base. This had lots of cool stuff to it. It had my little, oh, the water's gone. It had a little pool here. I had the library set up over here. Big old fireplace. And then this one did something that, you know, won't be needed anymore, really. But I did a whole floor on this one for the electrical. So there's this whole hidden floor here to be able to move wires around without them being seen. And then the living quarters were all upstairs. So this was where all the community storage was, up in here. And then this is the parking garage, which led out to the drawbridge. It was actually a double drawbridge setup. And then there was the farm upstairs. And then I had my own little room. This was Wait, nope. This is my bedroom. So this is where I had my personal storage and stuff like that, and a little kitchen. So yeah, but this is all built solo by me, in game. No cheats, not a single block. Everything was farmed by myself. So it's doable. It just takes some time. Let me see what other ones along those lines that were built. This is another big one that was done. I built this one in game. Also, another one of my favorites. This is another community horde base. This one's got switchable lanes. So this one had 4 lanes, and then these 2 separate sections are separated. Similar to what you saw before, except for I just did this with vault hatches like this. Powered by a switch on the wall. It would flip these up for 10 seconds so you could run across. Then you have your fighting positions all the way along here. And then all the community crafting area was in here. So garage would come in here. This is the parking garage. And then this was the whole crafting area up in here. And then the top of this was a landing pad for gyros. And then from there you just come on in this way, and I don't know why it's not letting me down, but so yeah, this was a fun build too. So all right, folks, I'm gonna call it because I got to go finish up the next episode of The Abyss tonight. But I appreciate everyone hanging out. I hope this was helpful and that people learned some stuff. If you have any questions, like I said, hit me up down in the comments below. And if you feel like it, drop a like. It helps the channel. I'd appreciate it. But otherwise, everyone take care. Have a great night. I'm going to leave you with that. Any last questions before I run off? Also Friday, folks, come hang out on Twitch with me. Come murder or help me. Whichever you want to do. But Friday nights, I'll be having some beers and playing some Twitch integration. So come join me there. Otherwise, night all. Have a great one, and I'll see you soon.